Joe the DJ. I like Joe.
Sound check.
Ugh. I like Joe. I could chew on this, right?
We ready?
Yeah, you're ready.
All right, and we're live.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Stan the Man here. I'm joined by Dennis the Menace Bermudez. What's going on, Dennis?
Another day, another dollar in paradise here in Long Island. It's getting cold now.
Oh, it's freezing. We're not trying to deal with that cold weather. Very cold. What's going on with you? I saw you training today at the gym.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to be ready, you know?
Trying to get that little baby fat off.
Yeah. If that's what you want to call it.
Well, when's the last time you fought?
What was it, July 22nd?
I'm not sure. I'll have to
think-
check them. July 22nd? You don't know the last time you fought?
I have so many fights.
So, me and Dennis are going to start a new show. We're basically going to interview a bunch of fighters and try to get you guys some behind the scenes. We're going to be joined in a little bit by Karl Reed. He's one of Wonder Boy's training partners. You familiar with Karl Reed at all?
I'm not.
He's an up-and-comer. He fought on the Contender Series. He got a little rushed, I think. He was only 2-0 when they threw him on there, but I think he's like 5-1 now, 6-1, something like that, and he's definitely knocking on the door for a UFC shot again. I don't know if it's going to be the Contender Series again, but I think it's going to be a fight night or a short notice fight or something like that.
Do you know what promotion he fights for now?
864 championships.
Never heard of it.
They're like a big promotion in Virginia. So they're like, they fed a few guys to the UFC. I've seen like, Justin Sumter and a bunch of UFC veterans usually like headline their cards, co-main event, main event.
Yeah, I did all of my amateur fights in Virginia.
Yeah, you did it for like, Steve Blackman, right?
No.
Oh, he was your coach at that point,
Yeah,
though?
he was just my coach. Because in Virginia, you fight under pro rules. And in my head, I was going to go pro. So I was like, well, I better see if I can do it. So I better fight under pro rules. So I'm like, how much? So I'd drive down to Virginia, and I would pay money to, like, have a license to fight in that state. And I'd get a hotel and pay for food. I used to pay to fight. I did it 4 times.
You paid to fight 4 times?
Yeah.
So, in a sense, you lost money to fight.
I paid to fight. Yeah, I lost money to fight.
And those were pro fights?
No, they were under pro rules, though.
So what, when your amateur fights were no shin guards, no headgear,
No. Take a dude down, the whole 9.
And full rules? Punches, you know how the amateur rules are no...
Yeah, no, I was ground and pounding fools.
Yeah, so head strikes.
Yeah, the whole 9.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my second fight, I got kneed in the mouth, and I couldn't feel my 2 front teeth for like 4 days. I was like, oh no, hopefully these things come back to life, because I don't have insurance.
Oh, so you had no insurance at that time?
Well, that's hearsay. I worked for UPS.
So you didn't have insurance through UPS?
No, I did, but, it's a little...
A gray area?
I think-ish. There might be a gray area.
Oh,
there.
if you're fighting.
Well, they don't cover dental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a little call coming in now. Looks like Karl Reed's ready to talk to us, so let's take this. Karl.
Stanley, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. You're joined by Dennis Bermudez. He's a UFC featherweight. Thank you for joining us again.
Hi, Carl.
What's up, Dennis? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man.
Rick hooked us up. I really wanted to get you on. I've been following you for a while. What's going on with you? You have a fight booked right now?
Yeah, I'm fighting this dude, Adrian Miles, November 10th down here.
Where's down here? Where are you training at now? I know you're originally from Jersey, right?
Yeah, I'm originally a Jersey kid, man. Grew up in South Jersey. Went to college at Newberry College in South Carolina. That's how I ended up down here, man. I wrestled Division II here. Back then, that's when we were pretty good. We were always ranked like number 1 or top 5 in the country year in and year out. Corey Anderson was down there. My buddy BJ Young was down there. A couple other guys that's fighting now that went there. But I ended up meeting.
So you have a wrestling background to go along with your training with Wonder Boy. So you have, I'm assuming you have a karate background or a kickboxing background training down there.
I do now, but I didn't beforehand. Honestly, when I first started fighting, when I decided to fight, I just knew I wanted to fight different, man. I like watching the little guys fight. So I'm coaching wrestling now down here in Gaffney, South Carolina, at a Division II school called Limestone College. And I actually had a kid on my team that trained with Wonder Boy. And I think at the time I only had like 1 amateur fight. I wasn't really sure if I still wanted to do it because every gym I walked into was either Muay Thai or like, everyone tried to like shut me down and, kill my athleticism. So,
Oh, what? They didn't want wrestlers coming in and beating up their students?
yeah, pretty much. And they didn't want me moving around a lot.
Yeah.
They wanted me to walk a guy down, stand and bang, and all this other stuff. And just originally, I just was like, man, I'm not with that, dude. I'm trying to be, eclectic, you know what I'm saying, about my style. So.
How old were you when you first started fighting?
Man, I started late. I've only been doing this for a couple of years, so I started at 26.
Oh, yeah, that is late, man.
But how long you been wrestling for? You wrestled for how long?
Since I was freshman in high school, so I've been wrestling for about 15 years now.
Out of New Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, New Jersey's got some tough wrestlers.
Yeah, this whole Northeast is killer with wrestling.
Yeah, dude, that's the only place I recruit from, man. But I got thrown right to the fire when I started wrestling, man. I had Doug Umbahauer. He was an All-American for Ryder a few years back. But he was the big guy in my wrestling room in high school. When I first started.
That's what's up.
So what do you do now? You're more of a striker, or you come into the fights looking to wrestle? It seems like the last fight I saw that I watched of you, it seemed like you were looking to strike a little bit.
Honestly, man, it all depends on who I'm fighting. I think one thing my grappling coach talks to me about is that, I got the blessing to be able to switch the game plan up. So when I was working my striking, I would really, going through the AMIs and everything, I would strike a lot more than I would grapple. I was trying to hold myself back from grappling just to work on the striking as I was at AMI. But now I just put it together. So it's whatever the game plan calls for. If it calls for me to set my strikes up to wrestling, I'll do it. If it calls for me to stand and strike, I can stand and strike and keep my distance. So I know I was like the only one to ever start coming into this game to be like, I'm gonna mix karate with wrestling, and no one else was doing it. And then when I saw Henry Cejudo pick that shit up like two or three fights ago, and switched it up, and I see somebody on that high level, doing it and getting it done, getting the job done, and just beat DJ. I think I'm on the right track.
Yeah, you're talking about not having such a square stance, creating more of an angle, right?
So Karl, how many knockouts do you have?
I think like 3 or 4.
Yeah, because here's the thing. As a wrestler myself, my very first amateur fight, I knocked a guy out, but I was like, that guy just sucked. Like, he didn't know what he was doing, But, once you get to the higher levels, man, you see, great wrestlers knock a few guys out. And if you ask me, hey, Dennis, do you want to wrestle with this guy and continually take him down for 15 minutes, or do you want to box with him for 15 minutes? Which one takes less effort?
For me, for a wrestler, if I can take a guy down and keep taking
I understand
that,
but let's say you're going against another good wrestler. Like, I would rather stand there and box.
Yeah,
so it's easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm
so when you get in these
out.
fights, and it's like, man, do I sit here and bang with this guy? Do I try to take him down? It's way more energy efficient to sit there and bang than it is to attempt a takedown. Because I get that all the time. Why Dennis, just take him down? I'm like, yeah, well, there's gas in the tank, right?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
trying to make that gas
It's
last.
So to be honest, that's what I realized when I first started training with Wonder Boy, man. It was like, when I first went in, my thought was like, oh, he's a good striker, I'll take him down.
Right.
And that motherfucker started moving around the cage. I was like, God damn, I can't get to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, my striking wasn't good enough to set up my wrestling. And then once I got to him, I found out he was even tougher to take down than what I thought. So I was like, man, this is tiring as hell. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you can't take him down or hold him down.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking at your listings here with your height and your weight and whatnot. It says you're 6'3". You're a tall light heavyweight. You're a tall fighter if you're 6'3", right?
Yeah.
All right, so you're like a rangy guy. Do you try to emulate Wonder Boy's style a little bit? Are you throwing kicks, or is it a lot of hands into takedowns?
I throw a lot of kicks.
Yeah, he just said he was trying to be the karate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's
wrestling
trying
guy.
to do it. Is that what he's doing in his fights? That's what he wants to be
Dude,
eventually.
hang on. I hear the man. He's gonna do it.
Have you landed anything big yet in your fights? Any big kicks that are have caught highlight reels or anything?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you check out my IG, go to _Reed. I got highlights on there, dude. I kicked a couple kid dudes' heads clean off.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to see. That's what fans like to see, I'm sure. So you're definitely on the UFC's radar, especially having been on the Contender Series. What'd they say to you after that fight?
So I took the Contender Series fight. I only had 2 pro fights. Took the fight. I took the fight for a guy that had a little more experience than me, but I couldn't pay for that type of exposure, so I took it. I had a bad weight cut, man. My legs kind of died out, so I was making it look easy in the first. Then the dude had like over 10 fights or so, and I was beating up on him, and I just died out. I think I would have lasted like another minute or so in the second round. I probably would have eked out a split decision. But Mick called me afterwards. He called me, my manager, afterwards, and just asked us what happened, because I was looking so good in the first round. We just told me, we had a bad weight cut. Thanks for the opportunity to be back. So, and then I saw Mick again because I went to New York to corner Stephen when he fought Masvidal. I went up there to corner Stephen, and I saw Mick again, so I talked to him again, and I just told him, I was like, I'll be back. Don't count me out, man. I had a bad weight cut, but I'll be back. He was like, yeah, I know, just get your fights. So my manager came back and asked me to be on the second season this summer, and I turned it down. I told him, don't worry about it. Let me go back. Let me get some more fights. So when I come back, I know I'm one of the best light heavyweight prospects in the country. And I know I'm going to get a contract when I go back.
So they asked you back for this past season of the Contender Series.
Yeah, they wanted me to come back. There's other guys that lost and went back. Like Ryan Spann, I think he got knocked out in like 15 seconds the first season, came back this season, won, and they signed him. So light heavyweight is a weight class that they're looking for guys.
Yeah.
I feel like definitely because a lot of the other guys that have been there and been prevalent, the Glover Teixeiras, the DCs, John Joneses, all those other guys, though, they're getting old. So they need that younger crop to come in, the Corey Andersons, the Karl Reeds, the guys like that.
Yeah, they're getting older, and then, in my opinion, I feel like it's like DC, John Jones, and his Gus is in, and it's kind of like everyone else is like kind of falling into place right now. It's kind of like everyone just beating everybody, and not too many people are starting to stand out and kind of make that run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Light heavyweight division, from just studying the game, was always the most popular division in the game. Just because they're bigger athletic heavyweights. They're athletic enough to move like little guys a little bit, and they got enough power to knock you out like a heavyweight. So it was interesting to see, and you're just not seeing it right now, especially with John Jones on the shelf. You got DC going up the heavyweight. So who's really there?
Oh yeah, and I think especially we'll see it as the money starts coming into the sport, and we see the football player, the kids grow up and they pass up football, they pass up basketball, and they go into MMA, UFC, combat sports.
Yeah, so what you just said right there is, and I mean, with all the money in football and basketball, I really think some of the best heavyweights, light heavyweights, don't even know how to fight.
Yeah.
They don't have the skills to fight. But had they had some training, they would be the best, some of these guys, I think.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Well, I've heard John Jones say that his big brother beats him up. So his oldest brother will beat him up all the time.
So like Brandon Schaub, for these other football players that were in the NFL and got cut, come over fighting, now they're these big stars. Imagine you took the guys that didn't get cut and brought them over to the UFC.
Yeah. I mean, you look at a guy like Greg Hardy, man, that's just, I mean, they're building him up through the Contender Series, and he's just knocking dudes dead. You know what I mean? You get those freak athletes that's been through college and them D1 lifting programs where all they do is just feeding these dudes. It's going to be some trouble. You know what I'm saying? If they start realizing that. And with the new ESPN deal that the UFC got going on, man, I can see it happening in the next decade or so.
Oh, yeah. I see with the ESPN deal, that's what I see. I see the gap closing between the MMA and the other sports, especially with the talks of the possible trades and all this. I see all of this as just the sport growing. So more coverage, more fights, bigger fights, all that. I think Conor McGregor, even losing to Khabib, was a little bit of the passing of the torch. I think Khabib started with like 4 million followers when that fight happened. Now he's got like 15.
Yeah, he's got a ton.
Yeah, like he blew up.
No, I think he might.
Yeah, he's got like 10 million followers now.
Yeah, you get the rub.
Crazy.
The Menace got like 27,000.
Blowing up.
Woo!
All right, so we want to thank you for joining us, Carl. Who are you fighting again? Let us know one more time.
Fighting Adrian Miles. I think he's out of Mississippi. I'm fighting him at 864 fighting championships here in South Carolina.
And what do you think? You think this is the fight that gets you back to the UFC, or you think 2 or 3 more?
All depends on what we want to do between me and Rick. I'm looking at the UFC, so I'm thinking this fight, it's time to go see the gatekeeper. This dude's like 16 and 11.
I was just going to say, looking at him, he's definitely solid. He's got a lot of fights, so he's definitely a gatekeeper type of guy.
Yeah, it's time to go see the gatekeeper. It's time to go do my thing, and then I'll probably look for another gatekeeper type guy, before I hit back on and try to get back on a Contender Series next summer.
And what do you think, keeping it with age 64 championship down there in Virginia?
Yeah, it's just one of those things, I'm all about opportunity. Something pops up big, like a CES or LFA pops up for me to come fight for a title, I'll do that and drop of a hat. But, at the end of the day, 864 is flying guys in for me to come take these ass whoopings. So, I'm happy to fight my own backyard until I got to start traveling again.
Yeah, but Karl, like I hear what you're saying, and it makes sense, But I mean, the body, because I've been through it, man. I'm still doing it. The body takes a beating after a while. For like, if I could give you any advice, I would try to get into UFC as soon as possible and try and polish up, because you're taking damage and stuff like that while you're still taking on these guys for lesser money. So I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I get what you mean, Dennis. A fight's a fight, so
I mean,
every fight takes something out. The training camp is what really takes it out of you.
Because, like you said, it's not like you're young. You're 26, right? Or your first fight was at 26?
Yeah, I'm turning 30 on Saturday.
Yeah. So I mean,
prime of his life right now.
Yeah,
he's 1 or 2 fights away from the UFC, so I'm sure once he gets there, he'll be on a quick rise, especially because he definitely has some notoriety from the Contender Series.
Yeah. So that's my one tip.
And I'm trying to get back as quick as possible. I'm definitely even when I first started, 2019 was always a year. But of course, when I get a call from a Contender Series 2 fights in, I'm trying to speed that goal up big time.
What'd you do in the break between wrestling? Like, what'd you do before you started fighting from like 20 to 26 or 22 to 26?
To be honest, I was just coaching. So I was always around combat sports. I was just coaching, man. And then, honestly, I had my first coaching job. I was down in South Georgia at junior college. I was a head assistant there, and I had an athlete pass away from a heat stroke, dude. And it kind of really stressed me out. So I had to get away, and that's when I started training to get away from all the stress from that. So once I started doing it, I kind of picked it up quick, and it was like, damn, I'm picking up this sport quicker than I picked up any other sport I ever did. So I just kept rolling with it. And then, 6 months later, I'm training with Stephen Thompson, arguably one of the best strikers in the world. Like, well, I got some grappling, behind me now. Now I got, I'm at a good place with a good coach that can teach me how to, put my hands and feet together.
And now training with Stephen Wonderboy, looking at your size, I'm sure you've gotten some rounds in with Weidman as well, right?
Yeah, I've gotten a few rounds in with Weidman. When I first started training, he was just here a few months ago. My last camp, he was here. I got some rounds in with him.
How'd those go? Those were a good gauge for you to see kind of where you're at, I'm sure.
Yeah, man, those are always, going with guys like Weidman. Like, I've trained with Rashad Evans. I've gone up to New York and went to Henzo's and, trained with Corey, trained with Vellante, and training with those guys, man, and seeing that I can hold my own and get the best of them sometimes, it boosts my confidence, you know what I'm saying? So I know I can fight on the level, if I'm just presented with the right opportunity at the right time.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I always say to guys. Once you kind of got to take guys off the pedestal. Yeah, they're really good. They deserve the respect, but you got to realize you could be that good too. You just got to go for some moves and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, after my first pro fight, that's when I went up to Henzo's, and actually it was the first time I sparred with Corey. And me and Corey was training partners in college for wrestling, but I never sparred with him, because Corey had started fighting way before I did. But the first time me and him ever sparred, I told him, hey, man, I got different style, blah, blah. We were just talking trash back and forth like typical wrestlers, and I pieced him up a little bit the first time we ever sparred, and you got Mark Henry and Ricardo Almeida in there yelling at Corey. Corey told him, hey, man, this is my boy, he's pretty good. Now, don't get me wrong, I took some lickings from Corey too, a couple rounds later. But ever since then, it's been that day kind of boosts my confidence, you know what I mean? And then I turn around, I spar Vellante, do well with him, then I knew, I'm like, okay, I can, that was my confidence really high. That was one fight into my pro career. I was like, all right, I can do this.
Oh yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to go with some of the guys at that level, and then it just get one thing, land a jab or something, and it just gives you confidence to start working some more techniques, and then you believe that you can actually do it, and that's what you need in the gym. So
yeah, 100%, man. I go up. I try to get the Corey at least once or twice a year, especially like once wrestling season's over for my guys.
Oh yeah, and those guys are killers over there. Dennis, any other advice you can offer someone like Karl as he's on the come up?
I mean, he's got it all figured out. I think he's trained with the right guys. He's I mean, I guess, hey, get after that way earlier, my dude, right? You said that's what screwed you up in the Contender Series. So, I mean, that's always one of my things, man. It's not like, as soon as I get a fight, it's not like, oh, I gotta fight this guy. It's like, oh, I gotta
cut that weight.
I gotta lose 25 pounds. Like, fuck, 30 pounds. Like, damn it, man.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
the
trying,
weight cut's
like,
never fun.
It's never the, like, oh, I'm fighting this guy. Like, oh, he's tough. It's always like, damn, I gotta fight my damn self. Get this damn weight off.
What do you?
Honestly, after that, man, I switched it up, dude. I got a meal prep company to help me out, and I got these guys down here called the Fight Doctors that handles my weight cut now. Because after the Contender Series, the next fight, I had another bad weight cut. After that, I switched everything up, so my weight cuts are good now.
What are you usually walking at?
Usually around like 235, 240.
Oh, it's like the same as you, Stan.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm a lightweight. I'm just an overbloated lightweight. A little welterweight. I'm sure this guy's tremendous compared to me. So, but thank you for joining us, Karl. Me and Dennis appreciate it. We'll get you back on after you beat this guy in November. And anything you want to say right now? Let people know your Instagram, your social media. Anybody you want to shout out? Go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right, man. Appreciate it, guys. Man, thanks for having me on. Just you guys can follow me at @NoWords_Reed on IG, man, and just keep following, man. I'm coming up real quick.
All right. Thank you again for joining us, Karl. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Woo! That was Karl Reed, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, Karl Reed. We appreciate him for joining us. We're going to hopefully get Dominick Reyes on in a few minutes. But, yeah, man, another up-and-coming wrestler. He sounds like that was always my thing, is once I see a guy and I know that they're a wrestler, I'm like, oh, this fucking guy. Like, I had you. You were already a little polished. You trained some MMA. Then I had Wade, but I had Wade when Wade was really green.
Yeah, where he only knew wrestling.
So I had this freak athlete just like, you know what, I'm a fucking freak out. I'm going to throw a side kick. And then it's like, boom, oh shit, the side kick landed. The side kick landed. The side kick landed. I remember Gregor too, even. When Gregor first started training, Gregor was like hesitant at first. And then Depot was like, you know what, I would go with Gregor and I would submit him. And then I went with Gregor and Depot was like, don't do anything. Gregor just tried to hold Stanley down. And I was like, oh, that's fucked up. If he's I get him when he tries to pass my guard and shit. And I could not do anything. Like if he went, and I said to him, like
he's a nightmare.
He was hesitant. This is years ago. He was
I know.
like,
I remember I was training with him.
And he said like, like you just get me with stuff eventually. I'm like, no. If me and you fought 15 minutes right now, my lifetime of training is done because of your wrestling. You could outgrind me and outcompete me and beat me for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I have to get lucky and keep on the feet and land a strike. You can just take me down.
Anytime I train with Gregor, it's like, oh, here we go. He gets, or we already start in a bad position when you're already down, whatever.
It's
and
a dog fight.
He gets your back, and then, it takes me at least 4 minutes to get him off my back. If I get him off my back for that round.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy, too, like what we have. Like you, Chris, Quinta, Gregor, all these guys around that size that can just kill each other, have tough rounds. Nightmare rounds.
Then LaFleur somehow gets put in there like, dude, you're way bigger than me. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not that much bigger.
That's the worst round of my life.
Like, yes, you are.
Well, it's funny, like, when we get Ryan on, we'll talk about, like, I've never won, I don't know if you ever have, probably get mauled every round. I've never won a round against Ryan, ever. Never even come close to submitting him. I've had moves. And even if they were close, I've been like, I'm just gonna have to give up on this because I have to put him to sleep. Like he's not gonna tap.
Yeah, I may have beat him in a round in my life because we're going back 6 years now. 6 years of training.
And then he's talked to like mutual friends of ours, and he said like, they'll be like, how's Stanley? And he'll be like, oh, still never beat me. He's never gonna beat me. Yeah,
that's probably true. But the thing is like I might get Ryan when I'm a little heavier and he's closer down in weight. And he's it's a
broken down a little. Yeah,
it's a second training session. Like he should probably be taking the day off.
Oh my god.
But I'm like, no, not today.
One time he hurt his wrist on my head. He punched me in the head with we were doing like light sparring, timing with 4-ounce gloves, and he kept kicking me with the body because I was crowding myself, and then he punched me in the top of the head and started shaking out his wrist, and he was like, "Oh, I think I'm done." I was like, "Oh, thank God." And in my head though, that was my
good. You hurt me.
In my head, that was
you
my
hurt
one,
yourself on me.
That was my one
Yeah.
victory.
Yeah.
So I got that one on him.
That one time you headbutted Ryan Flair's fist.
Yeah, man.
With your head.
Not
Yeah.
fun, especially like. I wrestled 11th and 12th grade, so I didn't wrestle growing up. You guys were all fucking physical athletes, where I was like, yeah, I played. I played
better genetics than you.
No, I have good
and
genetics.
like stronger minds.
No,
and like
come on,
a little
come
bit
on.
more handsome.
No, I'm a good-looking guy. That's how I got.
Well,
That's how I
hang
got
on.
this far in life.
Well, you just told me that you were 230, and I was like, hey, what are you gonna do about that? You're like, nothing. I don't care anymore.
I still do okay at 230. I still do okay at
Yeah, you
230.
pulling tail.
Bro, I still got a big chest and shit. I'm not in bad shape at 230. I carry my weight well. I'm tall. I'm like 6'2".
You look like you know the movie The Santa Claus when like he starts gaining a little bit of weight. That's what your body looks like. Tim Allen when he starts gaining a little bit of weight, I'm like, whoa, what's going on here?
That's probably what I look like. It was funny the day, like also going back to LaFleur, like the one day I told you, called me out with the scale. I was like, he was like, what do you weigh? And I thought I weighed 220. The last time I had weighed myself was 220, and he was like, bullshit. Immediately when I said 220, he was like, let's go in, look at the scale, and I was like 234, 235.
I was thinking like 210, because when you used to train with us on the regular, like you were maybe 180.
The day I broke my leg, I was 176.
Right.
I took like a selfie in the mirror at the gym, and I had a six-pack on Thursday, and then I broke my leg on Tuesday. And
Stan, I don't like the talk that you like. I'm too, what are you gonna do about getting the 230 down? Like,
no,
I don't care.
That's a joke.
No, we gotta get you going again, dude.
Yeah,
I care
absolutely,
about you.
absolutely.
I care about you a little bit.
You know what it is though too? Like even that one day I came in, Depot didn't want me to train. He was like, everyone, it's like Stanley's, he's toxic. Don't train with him.
What?
Because he didn't want me to re-break my leg, obviously.
Hang on, this dude he breaks his leg, shatters it like in half, broken, awful, and then he almost passes out in pain, so goes hospital.
No, I didn't almost pass out.
Dude, your face was green.
No, I thought I handled that well.
You did, but what was your tibia?
Oh, I broke my fibula and my tibia.
Yeah.
I snapped both of them. It's called a pylon fracture. It's actually a really complex type of injury, so it's not.
So, anyways, you hung it up for a little bit, which you should have because your fucking leg's broken.
Oh no, I couldn't walk for like 8 months.
And then
I was bedridden
so this is why we're like, no, Stan, you're not. He tries going from sitting on the couch to, you know what? Let me hop into the hardest practice at Long Island MMA and
The
just
only
mix
practice
it in
I ever did.
and mix it up with the top guys.
I was coming in like, oh, I'll help fucking coach the lower level guys, and I'll fucking hold pads for someone else, and I'll watch. And I was just happened to be in gym gear, and then the second Depot saw me, he was just like, nope, you think you're training? No fucking way. And he went up to everybody and was like, nope, can't train with Stanley. Don't train with Stanley.
Nah, you didn't come in like that,
bro.
dude.
I'm not stupid.
Yeah,
No, I'm not. I was not coming. I was not coming in there to get my leg broken again.
Because I would have broken it.
No. And a lot of people might break it, that's how I feel now. Like, that's why I'm not coming back to hard training.
Yeah, so don't. Just take the regular classes.
I don't know.
With the Joe Schmoes.
If anything, I got to just drill with my friends that are good. I got to go with good people because I can't go with the Joe Schmoes.
Why?
The competitiveness. They're going to try to hurt me, and then I'm going to have to try to hurt them. And then
So
I'm
hurt them and win.
I'm going to hurt
feel
myself.
Good.
Obviously, I'm going to hurt myself. Like, I wasn't getting fucked up when I broke my leg. I was in a wrestling battle where I was actually getting takedowns and stuff, and then John defended them, and it was just a freak accident. It wasn't like he broke my leg.
Didn't someone fall into you? What was the...
John Gotti.
Right, fell into your leg.
No, he had a body lock, but instead of having his head in my chest and like taking me over his side, he like hula hooped me over it, like wong me.
Just big brothered you.
Big brother me, 100%. He's 20, 30 pounds of muscle on me.
Yeah,
easily.
John Gotti.
Yeah, John's a beast.
Yeah.
Do you do rounds with him?
I haven't done rounds with him in a while, but like the dude's jacked. But I'm like, oh man, he should have his way with me. But then like I just like hit the angles on him and stay low, and I like always come out on top on him. Just
you have years of wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Years of wrestling. So I think you might be underestimating your wrestling there. But yeah, John's, from what I've seen from when I first started training with John to now,
yeah,
a lot better.
For sure.
A lot better. And then you see even how he does in sparring and practice with other people. Like he's
I'm not sparring him. He's fucking. How much does that guy weigh?
Oh, he's a big boy. All right, we got our next caller. Dominick Reyes is going to call us in. We'll get back to John Gotti. Dom,
How's it going?
what's going on? Stan the Man here. I'm with
Hey,
Dennis
Stan.
Bermudez.
Is that your self-appointed nickname?
Stan the Man, why not?
All right. Well, I do call you that,
What's up,
I
guys?
guess. What's up, dude?
How you guys doing?
All right, we're just shooting the shit, you know?
We were
Yeah.
actually just shooting the shit, talking about some training stories, getting beat up, by fucking some of the other guys at the gym.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Always fun. So what's going on with you? Have you heard anything from the UFC after that last OSP fight? Where do they got you?
Not much, man. I mean, I'm going out to China. They're sending me out to China. That's gonna be cool.
They're sending you out to China for this upcoming fight?
Yeah. I don't know. They're just having me go out, just to go. So I'm in good graces with them right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I was telling, I spoke to your manager, Rick, earlier. I was telling him, I was like, that kid looks like an absolute murderer. Like that striking performance you put on against OSP, who's no slouch at all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know who he was until that fight, and after that fight, I went, whoa.
Oh, I already know. Everybody was like, "Who? This kid's
Oh.
gonna get killed by OSP." I don't even know who this guy is.
Well, I didn't think you were gonna get killed because I heard the betting lines were like they weren't crazy.
Yeah, I was actually the favorite.
You were.
So
You were. That's why I was like, this guy's not gonna get killed.
Well, I think you've looked impressive actually in your previous UFC
you look
fights.
great.
Yeah, he's actually slayed some guys.
thank you. Yeah, man, it's like finally get that name that like makes you like a certified killer, you know?
Yeah, for me it was beating Clay Guida. That's what like.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. That was
OSP is a big name, so yeah, you get when you're jogging down the road, someone's like they stop you, and you're like, I'm not used to this. Hey, what's up? you know,
No, for real. It's starting to go down like that. It's pretty cool.
it is pretty.
interesting.
But there's that weird fan, right? What's your weirdest experience with a fan?
And they're usually pretty good, but sometimes they'll just kind of like follow me for a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm. That people don't get that.
And
So
you're like, dude, just say hi, bro. Like, move on
Yeah.
with your life.
the best fan is the guy that comes up to you, hey, what's up? And you're like, hey, what's up? And you're like,
Yeah.
hey, I appreciate what you do, man. Like, good luck. Like, or like, take care. And you're like, oh man, like that guy. You hate that guy that comes up to you like, hey man, big fan. Then they stand right next to you. Time goes by, and you can see their brain like going on, and they're just thinking about the next question they want to ask you, and you're like, "Oh man!" Like, and you're of course you're in line for something where you can't just be like, "Well, gotta go," like,
Yeah,
and they're dwelling on the
Every
next
time.
question, like, so, how long you been fighting for? It's like, oh man, every question you're about to ask me is very Googleable.
Yeah, and
Is
you
that
Yeah.
did I just make up a new word?
Googleable? No, I think that's a word. It's got to be a word.
Googleable? That sounds like a good word.
I said Googleable, not Googleable.
Uh,
All right, whatever.
so now
Back to you.
you were saying you're going to China. I was confused. I thought you were going to maybe Brunswick to see this Ozdemir
No.
versus Smith fight. They're sending you to China just for a vacation, I guess.
Yeah.
So what happened?
I'm pumped about that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Curtis is fighting it. Me and Curtis are pretty close. Curtis Blades. So they're having me go out, support, and then do some PR.
They have you as a guest fighter.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. They put you up, you get per diem. Yeah, it's dope. You fucking shake hands with people. It's like,
Shake some hands, kiss some
yeah,
babies.
well, no, it's
Yeah,
all the
man.
perks of a fight week
got
without
a first
actually
timer
having
here.
to scrap and get punched in the face.
Yeah, see,
That's like the best.
Yeah. Well, you don't get as big as money though as when you fight.
Yeah, but
something.
You still
It's
get
But
something.
free flight, you
Get to
get to see the
enjoy it
world.
instead
Yeah, you
of
get to
being
see the
stressed out.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, it's definitely very cool.
So now, like I was saying, they're sending you to China for no reason. I was thinking this fight, you're watching this Ozdemir versus Anthony Smith fight closely, right?
I'm watching. There's like 4 light heavyweight fights. I'm watching all of them, man. I mean, I'm a fan of fighting too, so it's pretty cool to see guys in my division fighting, plus good fights in general. I'm always fights, man.
So you consider yourself a student of the game? You stay active? You watch a lot of fights?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta always know what's happening out there. How you gonna know what to evolve in or know what to defend? Like, people pick one like the flavor of the month, and everybody wants to try to do that.
Mm.
And I noticed that in gyms. And then, so you kind of know what people are thinking, and then you kind of get a consensus on what's going on.
So now, where are you training at now? I know you were in Long Island for a little bit. That's where we're actually based out of. So that was one of the things that caught my eye when I saw you fight. And they were talking about how you were an IT guy. You went to Stony Brook University. That's right by us. Where are you training out now?
I'm in California. I train with Dan Henderson and Joe Stevenson. And I also go to Team Elevation in Colorado.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've met Stevenson before. I believe Dennis might have met him, knows him. He's been out by us before. He trained with Lauro and a bunch of our guys with Gamma Labs brought him out that one time.
Yeah, they say
Joe's.
they say growing up in New York makes you tough, or like in the Northeast makes you tough because it gets cold and stuff like that. But then they say you're stupid if you stay.
Is that what they say?
I guess well, hang on. He's in California where it's warm all year round,
Oh,
nice weather, good-looking girls. Like, I mean, we're the idiots here. Like, it's freezing right now, right? That's what we open the podcast with. It's fucking cold, right?
Well, did you grow up? You grew up in New York, Dom?
No, I grew up in California.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, he grew up
I was on
here.
full scholarship out
Whatever.
there.
He just came here for college.
Well, he didn't stay.
But it's been 5 years there.
Yeah,
and I did not stay.
And then he was smart. He knew what was up, and he got out.
It's time to go.
Me and you were the
It's time to
idiots,
go.
and we're stuck here.
Dude, it's 80 degrees here right now.
I don't even want to look at it. That me and Dennis are still wearing our sweaters, our jackets.
Yeah, I got my freaking sick vest on, dude.
Oh, man, I don't miss that. I don't.
So what did you do when you were in Long Island? Did you train at all when you were here?
No, I was a football player, so I mean that's a full-time job in itself.
Oh, so you're another one like our previous. We were just speaking to Karl Reed. You started late, or
Yes.
when did you get started in the game?
Well, I started MMA when I was 23,
Okay.
and that was 2013.
Oh, so like 5 years now. You wrestle, grow up? You have any kind of combat sports?
Yeah,
background?
I grew up wrestling. I haven't stopped playing sports my whole life. There's not been like a 6-month period where I wasn't like training for a sport, whether it was baseball, football, track and field, wrestling. It's always been like my whole life has been sports.
Oh, so yeah, you're an athlete. Like you consider yourself definitely a guy who can definitely mix it up and do
You
a lot
know
of
what?
things.
He's one of those guys like, hey, you want to play like a backyard game? He's like amazing at it. You're like, dude, go fucking go get out of here.
Oh yeah, he
That's
definitely
pretty
seems like
much
he's
it.
that guy. Definitely seems like
There's
that
a lot
guy.
of that.
So now
I'm
what
good
do
at a
you,
lot of different things.
First throw in cornhole goes through the fucking hole. You're like, dude, get the fuck out of here. You don't play this every day? You don't play this every day. He's like, no, man, I haven't played since last summer. Fuck off.
How do you score, bro? How do you score in a game? What's up?
Did I win?
Yeah, I don't
Did
even
I break
have a
it?
Oh shit.
So now, are you getting on the mat with Dan Henderson, or is he coaching you? What's going on there? He's just.
Dude, I'm sparring with him, bro. He's crazy.
Oh my God, that's like just every time he throws a right hand, you probably have flashes of just so
Bro,
many knockouts.
He hit me with a clean H-bomb one time. Pretty fucking clean.
Did you die?
And I lived, so
Wow.
I'm confident in anything now. So
And that's why he's in the top 10 of the UFC.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. If you're
like
sparring,
he hit me, and I was like, dude, you just fucking H-bombed me. That's so sick. And he looked at me like I was a lunatic.
As he has blood running out of his nose.
I mean, what is he now? He's got to be
Like,
like
oh, that's so
47,
I don't even know.
50, and
I just know he's very aggressive.
he's still getting on the mat sparring, top 10 guys. Where do they have you ranked?
Yeah.
Where do they got you ranked now?
I'm number 6.
Oh, they popped you right up to number 6. Yeah, because OSP was
Number
up there.
6.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, he was number 7 at the time. I was number 12, I believe.
Now, how did
Yeah.
OSP smell? Because
How did he
hang on.
smell?
This is gonna sound crazy. I drove in an Uber with him. We were doing some I don't know, PR stuff. Or I don't know. And he smelled amazing. The cologne this man had on was high level.
So
High
that's good
level.
stuff. I mean, it was a pleasant experience. I don't remember anything bad about it.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
damn,
yeah.
this guy stinks or anything.
Did he land anything clean on you, or anything that did he ever have you in trouble in that fight?
Not that I saw.
There's just no.
Yeah.
He
So
might have. He flashed me one time. I went to slip under a hook, and he caught me on the back of the head. I saw the flash, but I was like, oh, I'm still standing. We're good.
oh yeah, I'm sure that flash probably with the H bomb as well.
Well, it's the flash. It's like you play football, you do anything, you get hit, you see that flash, and you're like, I'm good. Am I good? Or am I not good?
Yeah,
I'm good.
feet are still on the ground. Got it. But
So
back
now-
to Dan Henderson. My manager used to manage him.
Used to train with them. Parsons is an OG
Yeah,
in the game.
and he said he's the hardest human being he's ever worked on because he's a chiropractor.
Physically, yeah.
Like to the touch.
Dude,
he's
Yeah.
like every part of his body's stone. He also has
Yes.
no mobility.
Yeah,
Like
he looks
his-
like he has very little mobility.
So hang on, which I think it goes a long ways with not getting injured. Dan Henderson has never pulled out of a fight because he got injured training.
he only moves as much as he has to. He
Well,
does
no,
very
he
little.
only well his like
Well, Dan's been doing peak performance for a long time.
right.
He hasn't done a lot of the heavy beat on yourself stuff. For pretty much the majority of his career has been peak performance. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Right.
But yeah, and I also believe that he's so rigid probably has a lot to do with it too.
Right. Where if you needed his knee to go to his nose, it just his body wouldn't allow it. He's that tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's super explosive.
Right.
And
Right.
aggressive,
Well,
I'm
he's
telling you.
he's everything's tight on him, ready to rock and roll. He's like a
Yeah.
rubber band.
Were you always out there?
And where? With Dan?
Training with Dan?
Well, I just this last fight is the first time I started training with Dan and Sam Alvey and Tarek Safardine, the guys over at Team Quest. They've been great, man. They've been really cool.
Who's that girl that they have as well? They have that one really, really pretty girl.
Oh, yeah. I forgot her name. I feel bad.
I feel bad too. That's why my name is blank. I'm actually a fan of her. She fights good. Ashley Yoder.
The monkey, right?
Yeah,
Ashley Yoder.
Spider Yoder. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
She's solid.
She's solid. She's a badass. That girl.
She's been working with Joe a lot too. So.
She's like a chick who
She's
puts her
gonna come out.
mouthpiece in and like
No, yeah, she is.
she'll
Oh yeah,
slug
she's
it out.
tough, dude. She's tough.
And she's similar
She's
to
like
Gregor.
really standoffish.
Yeah.
Right away.
How is spar?
Really.
Are you getting
really
to spar
tough.
with Sam Alvey as well? How are those rounds
Yeah.
going?
How's sparring
great
with the
round,
spider
man.
monkey? How is that? You
The spider monkey?
Yeah, you and her ever get some rounds?
No.
Well, I try to
I'm,
throw a
I'm
joke in
6'4",
there.
dude. I'm a little big.
Yeah, I know
it's
that.
tough. That's like sometimes I remember one time Sermonara asked me to train with Caitlin.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck am I
Nah,
going to do to
dude.
this girl? She fights at 125. And then he was like, be Liz Carmouche. And I was like, all right, I'll fucking ragdoll the shit out of this girl right now.
No, but back to Sam Alvey.
After the round that I want to get her on one day, but after the round with Caitlin, I almost felt bad, like giving her the pound afterward because I like manhandled her. Like
man.
I didn't beat her up, I just wrestle fucked her. I put in my head like, I'm just gonna hip ride her, and she's not getting anything. I'm not letting her work anything. She's
That's
on the
brutal.
She's on the mat with all the men. You got to give her that. It'll help her in her fight.
Anytime a girl's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, you want to go?" I'm like, "Nope, go over there."
Are you,
I'm not gonna be the odd man out. I'll go with whoever.
you don't know.
Nah, I'm doing bag
Yeah.
work.
I've gone with Sarah a bunch of times too. Like we have like a 5'10" chick at the gym. I've gone with her a bunch of times. She gets fucked up.
Now on the other end of
I guess the only
spectrum-
chick I would ever go with is like Gabby Garcia.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hang on. Well, hang on.
Whoa,
Hear me
whoa.
out. Hear me out. Because
I'm good on that.
I walked into a room one time and Cyborg was in there. And I looked at my manager. I go, listen, I'm not sparring with her. I'm not doing anything with her. Like I'm not.
I don't want to do it.
Well, no, because the thing is, like, you beat her up like you beat up a girl. But if you don't,
Oh, I'll bet.
it's a lose-lose.
She's probably
Oh,
got
man.
you by 10 pounds. You're gonna throw out a jab, and she's gonna fling a right hand, right hook combination at you.
Dude, like, and then what do I gotta go? Okay, like, game on, like, fucking.
Me and Cyborg, me and this chick are
Now,
fighting
here
to the
comes
death.
my overhand. That's not gonna happen.
And she eats it. She's like she smiles, like with a little bit of blood, like, yeah, that's what you got,
Spits her
sweetheart.
mouthpiece out.
Like, oh,
Oh yeah,
yeah, like I'm not doing this anymore.
I could see her eating the shots
Oh gosh.
and
Oh,
hanging in
fuck.
the pocket. She's not gonna get hit and back up or cower away. I think she's gonna hang in the
Yeah.
pocket and slug back.
Because Reyes is
she's
definitely
tough.
taking Gabby, but me and Cyborg could be a real cat fight, you know?
Even there though, Gabby. how big is Gabby? Gabby's like 245. No, how big is she? 180.
Yeah, she's like 230, dude.
She's big.
Yeah. She's
She's-
got. Hang on. I will say this. She does have better abs than you. I gotta give it to her.
Oh yeah,
I gotta
she's
give
an
it to
animal,
her.
dude.
Yeah.
Bro, she's tremendous. Like if you look at that girl.
No, but I watched her fight and I watched him fight.
Oh,
Well, she's
in
a girl.
Fight, in a fight.
We're
yeah.
forgetting she's a girl.
In a fist fight, absolutely. But you let that girl get on your back, you never know. She can get that hand.
Oh, you know what? I've never seen her jiu-jitsu because she always like gets.
That's
in-
all she has. Is her striking sucks. Her
Yeah, she fights like
yeah,
like 40-year-old like Asian wrestlers.
and fucking mauls them.
Yeah.
Like it's not even
Murders
fair.
them. Oh my goodness.
so where in Asia
What
are
were
you
you gonna
going,
say
brother?
about that joke?
China.
About
Oh,
What?
yeah.
What joke?
Well, China's big, no?
What'd you say, Dom? What joke?
Dennis was trying to bring up a joke earlier, and then we kept talking over him.
Nah,
That's all right.
got
Don't worry
room.
about Dennis. Dennis got jokes for days. It'll come back to him.
Maybe.
So, well, even Dennis just asked you, where are they sending you in China?
Beijing.
Beijing. I didn't realize China was that big. Dennis is saying that it's a little bit bigger than I guess I'm anticipating.
China's humongous.
I know it's
China's
big.
massive.
I know it's big like that. It's like but no, China is in Asia. I know Asia's massive. I didn't realize China was.
No, China is like the biggest.
I know it's big in population. I don't know how big it is.
They
in
have
geography.
full like forests in China. Like you know.
I didn't know it was that big in geography. I know it's big, very big in population. Have you ever been to China before? You never been there?
Never.
You ever
Gonna check out the Great Wall and all.
No, I've never been to. I've been to Singapore, which when I got to Singapore, I found out pretty quickly it's like a British, like everyone speaks English pretty much, and I was like, oh, I was getting ready to like sign language, like the bathroom and stuff like that. You know, which are you prepared for that?
He'll have an escort probably. I would imagine
No, they will. They will.
Yeah.
But you know, he might break off for a little late night. Like, hey, let's see what's going on over here. You know.
Definitely gonna see what's going on, but I'll figure it out, man. I'm probably gonna be one of the biggest guys in the country at the time, so
yeah,
I'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, you're definitely on the up right now, making some waves. So I'm sure you're watching these light heavyweight fights this weekend. Definitely let us know when you get the next matchup. I'm sure it'll be news because 10-0, people will be looking to see if you can go to 11-0, ranked number 6.
Yeah,
I'm sure everybody's going to be curious to see what happens next with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
This is the fun part, man.
Front row, hammer drunk.
And even you watched that fight, right, Dennis? You saw that OSP fight. Like you got some skills, like the combinations and the footwork. Like
he was.
Oh yeah,
you were moving like a TJ Dillashaw or Dominick Cruz style of fighter. Like it was footwork and angles as opposed to just plodding forward and playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
That's been my focus. My entire training has been to fight like a smaller fighter, like a lightweight. That's always been my motto: fight like a lightweight.
Oh, and I'm sure it's going to pick up, especially trying to dodge that H-bomb, cutting the angles, and just keeping your head on a swivel.
Definitely. Freaking Dan. It's a good time with him.
All right, well, we appreciate you for joining us, Dom. Any advice you can give Dom, Dennis, being a veteran in the game? On the come up in the UFC?
No, man.
I appreciate it.
He's on the path, man. He's on the path. I'm gonna call him up like next month. Like, hey, got a few questions. How'd you get to this?
Appreciate it, man.
All right, well, thank you again for joining us, Dom. Let people know where they can find you on Instagram, Twitter, social media, anything like that.
Follow me on Instagram on Dom Reyes 24 and Twitter at Dom Reyes.
All right, we appreciate you. And definitely next time, we'll get you on again in the future. We'll get a little more into Long Island, talk about what you did when you were here, and hopefully you have a fight booked by then, and we'll talk about who's actually going to kick next.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you for joining us.
Peace,
again,
bro.
man.
Peace.
Good times, tan lines right there.
Yeah, he sounds like a good dude down there.
I feel like we had a couple belly laughs there together.
Who, you and Dom?
Yeah, and then you were trying to come in like, oh, hey.
Oh, so
let's get to business.
So you and Dom Reyes were bonding, and I jumped in like, oh, no, back to business, guys. What are you doing?
It's debatable if, it's up for debate whether we're best friends now or not.
You got enough friends, bro. You got enough friends.
You jealous?
No, I'm all right.
No, you're acting real peanut butter and jealous over there.
No, I'm good.
You're looking through your little phone, trying to find new friends. What are you on? There's a Bumble for friends, right?
Is there really?
Yeah.
No, there's not.
I swear.
Oh, these fucks. I had an idea for that one time, and I told this girl that I was hanging out with, and she told me that it was $1 million idea, but I never followed on it. I told her I was going to come up with an app called Wingman, where you find a guy who wants to go out with the same goals as you, or you find a friend who wants to go out with the same goals as you. I guess Bumble fucking did it.
Well, Bumble was like just to meet real friends, like not to go out, meet a friend, and then go like bang hookers together.
I'm not talking about meeting a sociopath and banging hookers, Dennis. I'm talking about, I want to go out fucking to a club. I got 2 tickets, and nobody's going to use the fucking extra ticket. All right, here's where I got it,
Yeah, oof, that's a tough one.
Yeah, like I always have opportunities like that. I'd rather take a random person than have to pick. Because whenever I don't even like posting things. Whenever I have a random ticket, like I mentioned to you earlier, I probably have a random ticket next week.
Right.
I don't want to mention that online because then I have 10 people to choose from, 5 people to choose from. Who the fuck do you choose? Do you make it a competition between your friends? Like, no, I'm not taking you, I'm taking you.
No, I think you choose who you like the best.
I just impulse decision, give it under the table. Like, I'll be like, all right. And then I'll even second guess myself. Like, fuck, why did I give the tickets to Dennis? I could just give it to my fucking brother or something,
Huh.
Yeah, I just try to avoid it, But anyway, Bumble already made the app, so.
Bumble made the app to find a friend.
Yeah, wingman.
You made
wingman was gonna be to find a friend, to find a wingman.
For an event or for life?
For a wedding, what do you mean for life?
Like not like a life partner, but
The
like,
fuck do you
hey,
mean?
like we're now.
What the fuck?
Or is it for a one time, like, hey, going to the concert?
It was exactly what I said, like a fucking friend. Like, yeah, I'm going to a concert. You want to go to a concert? And we'll be friends after we go to the concert. Oh, I'm going to fucking out tonight to pick up chicks. You want to come with me? I got 2 chicks to hang out with. I need a fucking wingman. That's what wingman would have been.
You know what?
It wouldn't have been to find a life partner.
I feel like you're getting aggressive.
It wouldn't have been grind.
I may flip this table really soon.
This table's heavy as shit.
You know how strong I am?
You worked out already, bro. You're already depleted.
Nah, ain't me.
It's like we were talking about earlier, how you can sometimes catch the flare, when he's a little depleted and think you're going to do something. You're a little depleted, so you're just thinking you're going to flip the table.
You're a shot.
Yeah, Joe ain't going to allow that.
Do we have any more guests?
Yeah, we're going to shoot the shit for a little bit. We'll talk a little MMA, and then we're waiting to see if Jared's going to join us, but we'll hit up Phil Baroni and see what's going on with him. He's about to bare-knuckle fight Chris Lieben.
Oh, that's really happening, huh?
That's really happening. He's training. He's fucking jacked out of his gills. I just saw him train at AKA, so he's going to beat the shit out of Chris Lieben, hopefully.
You think?
No, maybe, but, it's going to... Who wants the bare-knuckle box? You both lose in that one. One shot landed, and you both got bruises.
So, my buddy Johnny Bedford, I could call him right now.
Oh, well, we mentioned that. We'll start pranking.
Okay.
No, what we said, we'll go small, and then we'll get bigger.
Yeah, for sure. So Johnny Bedford, I think he's got the title for whatever weight class in the bare knuckle. Boxing.
He's fighting bare knuckle.
Yeah, he's bitten. I know he's fought twice, and I think they're on pay-per-view now.
Yeah, they're definitely getting coverage. We'll definitely do a bare knuckle boxing episode one day in the future. But even today, like I said, we'll start working and we'll link it up to where we get our guests more lined up. But today, possibly Frank Mir, Tito Ortiz.
No,
we'll get endless guests coming up in the future. Robert Whitaker.
I know Rob.
And then we'll get Dennis to just open up his phone and hit a few people up and be like, yo, you punched me. Even the guys that you fought. I want to interview Jeremy Stevens. Were you and him cool after the fight?
After the fight, no. And then,
Oh, so you and Jeremy Stevens are not cool.
Well, no. After the fight, no. And then he was, I think, at Madison Square Garden. I was getting ready for a fight, and he was just in the vicinity of me. He was like, "Hey, man, you want a beer?" And I was like, "No, man, I got a fight coming up." But in my head, I was like, "That was nice of you to offer me." He's like, "Nah, man, come on." And I was like, "Nah, man, I got a fight coming up." I was like, "Well, no water then. I'm gonna get you a water." I was like, "All right." Came down, and he was mad cool.
Yeah, I think you get like a bond after you fight someone. No? Did you
Yeah,
find
for
that?
sure. Yeah. I mean, we sat down, and he was sitting right next to me, and he told me that was the toughest fight he had ever had. And I was like, this dude's fought a lot of people.
Oh yeah, that was a tough fight for him. You were landing some good shots. Like I thought, you were.
I think I was going through Instagram, a couple months ago or whatever, and that highlight came up, and I was like, oh damn, it was like that, huh? Like just back and forth,
like vicious dogfight.
He threw some heaters that if they caught me, I would have died. Well, he did get me eventually.
Oh my god!
But I didn't die, And then I threw a lot too that just missed him as well. You,
Ryan, Chris, Lauro, when you guys, people that I've trained with for years, and I know personally, when you guys go out and you guys fight, it's like, oh, it sucks to even watch you guys fight. When you guys fight someone like Jeremy Stevens, that's when it's like, oh god, this is a scary matchup because it's like any second.
Right.
Jeremy Stevens throws bombs. Every punch is to hurt you. He throws flying knees to hurt you. Yeah. And then that was one of those fights where you got dropped 2 or 3 times and just kept coming forward. And then even the shots you landed, you had him bloodied up. You rocked him at one point, which was I think the first round even, you had him rocked.
Well, I had taken him down, and I had his back, and I had an arm trapped, and I was like, pop, 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 pop. I hit him 40 times.
Even on the feet, I'm saying. On the feet at one point. I remember you rocked him, and I saw his eyes go wide, and I was like, oh shit, Dennis, please, just take him down, Dennis. Because then, if you charge at him, he's just going to throw haymakers.
Because I remember the first round, we got to exchange, and I level changed. I came up, threw some punches, and we were on the cage, and he was bleeding on me. I was like, I cut him.
Yeah,
I was like, hell yeah. Because usually when I hit people, I don't cut them. And then after further review, I watched the replay. I think there was we hit heads.
Yeah,
and
a little bit of a headbutt opened it up.
That sucks.
It happens.
I thought my fist did that, like with the padding and all. Like
Maybe it did. Did you watch the exact replay? It showed the exact replay.
I watched it and we level changed into each other. It was unfortunate.
Have you ever been cut in a fight? Like bad? What was the worst cut you had?
After the Matt Grice fight,
I can't remember really ever seeing too much blood on you. You'd usually
I remember
take the punches
going in the back and stitches with him. We both went in the back together and got stitched up.
Like sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
And what'd you have? This one?
Yeah, in the corner of my eye. I got
From a punch, headbutt?
I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of. That's another fight that there was just a lot of just limbs.
Yeah,
just
that fight was ridiculous.
Swinging at the head, you know.
That fight was ridiculous. You guys definitely suffered some brain damage in that one. So let's talk some MMA news. What do you think about the trades? Did you hear about the trades? Do you even follow shit? You don't even really follow fighting.
Nope.
What they might trade Demetrius Johnson to ONE FC for Ben Askren.
Wow.
Yeah. You didn't hear that at all? You didn't see that at all? That's like on every MMA page.
I'm like the worst MMA fan. Like, if you're my buddy and you do MMA, like, that's why I see what you're doing MMA-wise. But I don't go onto forums, really. I go into one forum. I'm drawing a blank. What forum I go into. It's like an app. What's the app? And it's like a really...
I've seen you liking the Tap Nap Snap stuff.
It's a really touchy... well, that's because you're my homie and you run it.
Yeah, every now and then helping, showing some support.
Yeah. Reddit. Every once in a while I go on the Reddit forum.
To get your MMA news from Reddit?
Well, it's, it's frowned upon what I do. So I go in there, I drop off some things of mine. Like, hey guys, this is kind of what I'm doing. Have a gander at it. But like, if they write something, you don't respond back to them, they'll be like, what? He's just coming in here just dropping stuff off. Like, that's not how this community works. And then somebody else will chime in like, hey, man, it's pretty cool that he even comes in here. And
what? You have to go in there and do like a Q&A?
Well, it's like a cult kind of, right? Would you say? It's a little bit like of a...
And what now? Reddit? I'm not too familiar with Reddit. I've read threads every now and then. I don't familiar.
So Reddit is like... It's a community, and it's like they don't want you going there and using them. So for example, I've done it once. Well, I didn't do it personally. Like my social media guy did it. Like he'd go in there and drop some things and then just bounce. They want
it's like
they want you to be part of the community. If they're gonna support you.
Dennis up. What do you just change your voice? Who's a social media guy?
Dude, fuck off.
Who are you talking about?
I had this young kid at the gym doing my YouTube and stuff at one point.
I thought you talking about
people don't know Bobby on this. We're doing a podcast here, dude.
Radio show, podcast, whatever you want to call it. People know Bobby. Our listeners are going to know Bobby. Who's going to listen to a show with you and me? People we know.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll know Bobby. We can shout Bobby out.
Well, listen, I'm trying to go beyond the people that we know, all right?
Oh, we'll get there.
You ninny.
We'll get there. What's that?
How many minutes you have left?
Oh, 7? Yeah. That's what we were going for.
No, 25.
Oh.
6 to 8. Yeah.
Oh, what are you, stupid? You can't read? You can't.
I don't read sign language. I don't know what it's talking about.
I thought it was 7 too. All right, good, because I'm looking to get out of it.
7 minutes. Sounds good.
But anyways, so in Reddit, it's a community, man. Like you gotta just be involved. I mean, that's the best way to put it, And so I've heard of some MMA fighters getting on Reddit and being involved, and they get just a ton of support and stuff like that. But it's tough though, because it's very new for me to. And I'll go in there once a month and try and catch up on a bunch of things. Messages, or I'll just go through and just look at this is going on MMA. I'll give it a like, just so they see that I'm active on there. Because prior to doing that, recently, I haven't been on there for a year.
What, on Reddit?
Yeah.
You haven't followed any MMA news in a year, other than just the people you know?
Correct.
Yeah. And you don't watch any fighting at all?
Well, I watch the fighting, but I mean that's if. Hang on, I also unless it's a humongous card where everybody I know is gonna be seeing it, and I almost can't get away from it unless I lock myself in my basement. I see those, but if I'm super bored, I'll watch a fight, you know. But like I'm not rushing home right now. Like whoa, dude, like so and so's fighting right now. I have to see it.
Would you fight in Asia? Why don't you ask the UFC to trade you? Would you be open to that, fighting in one championship if the money was right? Or would you not even care? You'd rather fight in America?
I think I'd rather fight in America. Because hear me out. I have to fly my corners. Unless ONE FC is paying for all my corners to fly over there and their extra room.
Yeah.
How much is a flight to Asia?
Probably expensive.
A G?
Probably expensive.
You know, 2 Gs to fly 2 other people. You know, if they are flying just you and one corner, you know, so that's the UFC does it.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's how this conversation started. They're talking about trading, releasing Ben Askren from ONE. He's going to sign with the UFC, and the UFC is going to release DJ. And so now the reason why there's somewhat truth to this is because Matt Hume is DJ's coach, and Matt Hume is the matchmaker for ONE championship. So there's actually like legs to the whole story, and there's actually truth to it. Like Ariel Helwani posted it, and then people were like, "Oh, it was kind of almost like is this April Fool's? Like, what? This sounds fucking crazy. A trade in MMA?" But nah, there's a possibility to it. Ben Askren has been trolling the UFC like welterweight division all day. You didn't see that?
Well, no, but I have seen him troll the UFC in general. You know, like
now he's
Dana White will come out and say like Ben Askren will never fight for the UFC. He's boring, and then Ben will get on and be like, "Well, here's what I gotta say about you and your flunkies," and like he'll go to town. He's funny. He's very clever.
I was saying to some of the people I talked to always about MMA in like a group chat, I said people don't really realize Ben Askren's like the Chael Sonnen, but
he is
a better record. Like he's actually really clever. He's intelligent. He's witty.
Yes.
So he posted like he asked what's his name if he wanted to go on a losing streak. Darren Till. He said, "Are you interested in going in a losing streak?" I think he hit up a whole bunch of people. So Darren Till responded to him with like, "Who the fuck are you? You know, you're a hillbilly. I had one loss. You thinking you're gonna come over here and ruin everyone? Trust me, I'll knock your curly head off, hillbilly." He was feuding with Alan Jouban. He told Alan Jouban, you know, you're 1-2 in your last 3 fights. Go back to modeling.
Oof.
Jorge Masvidal started writing to him. What did he write? He wrote to Masvidal. I mean, he told to Masvidal, "You haven't won a fight since January 2017, which isn't that long ago. If you had any shred of self-awareness, you would realize it would be an honor for you to share the cage with me." And that was in response to Jorge Masvidal telling him, "Beg me, you little slut." And just like a little slut whore, your day is coming. So Jorge Masvidal went a little graphic. And then he had some words with Mike Perry. And he told Mike Perry, "Well, I appreciate you being the only one with courage, Mike, but let's be real, you suck. You know you're not going to get the shot." And that was after him saying, Mike Perry saying, you know.
So he just went off today.
He went off today. And that's after Mike Perry said, "I was waiting to beat up Cowboy, but I threw my name. But first," I don't know what the fuck Mike Perry wrote. He writes like fucking, "I was waiting to beat Cowboy Cerrone first, but I threw my name out there on Insta, said I see him saying nobody is saying anything, so let it be known, Ben Askren gonna need some aspirin if you get my name on the contract with him. That wrestling shit don't scare me, bitch." So he ain't afraid of the wrestler.
Well, the thing is Askren he's very, very far from your traditional wrestling. His name in college was the Funk Master.
Yeah, he's got some weird shit.
Like, dude, like
You watched him wrestle live.
Oh my, hang on. We went. You
guys wrestled at the same time?
He was a little bit older than I was, but I would see him and I'd be like, dude, this guy.
How old are you now?
Is 31.
Yeah. I think he's like 33, 34. So yeah, he's a little.
So I've seen his, you know, and then he went on to win a world title. Like, the dude is an animal, and I watched him transition in MMA, and I was like, well, your wrestling style isn't gonna work in MMA, dude. You know, and I watched him literally walk at people like a zombie.
Somehow make
as
that
soon as
wrestling
his
work.
hands touches them, they're done.
Yeah.
If his hand touches you, he's going to take you down, and you're not going to get up.
Well, even that's like, I know now he's with Rufu Sport. When I lived in Florida and I was training like at the top team and around gyms in Florida in like 2007, 2008, I remember hearing about Ben Askren when he was first coming in the game, like when Woodley was first coming into the game and all these guys, and like Askren was the guy. Like he was talked about as being like, oh, he's the best grappler. He just walks on the mat and he's already a fucking brown belt, black belt, you know? So that was 2007, 2008. I'm sure now his grappling's ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
That's when he was an Olympian dabbling in MMA and grappling and submission training a little bit.
And it's tough because if you don't know who Ben Askren is and you look at him, you see his body, you're like,
Exactly like
He's
Perry
not-
said. He looks
no,
kind
he-
of like a hillbilly.
well, no, he's not like, he's got, the curly hair. He's not like, he doesn't look like a Greek god, but I tell you what, if he grabs a hold of you, you know it. If he grabs your wrist, that is now his arm. If he grabs your leg, he owns that leg. He's one of those freak strength and just, his angles and stuff like that and how he transitions is just like, dude, you are. And the thing is like, no one could have taught him to do the things he does. Like, he just makes it up, I guess. Like, there's no, like, that's it. You just kind of go,
Well, yeah, Funky Ben Askren's got
There's-
very, very unorthodox wrestling. I've seen some things like he does. Like, one thing he does, like, he always grabs, like, the leg. Like, whenever you go in for a takedown on him, he does, like, weird ankle, like, things.
he'll reach over your back and grab, like, your leg.
That's what I'm saying.
Hang
Like,
on, so
things are taught in wrestling a little bit, but not, it's like.
So, do you know, so he knows, he's so, like, crafty and whatever. Like, do you ever go against, like, a high-level black belt and you're like, man, like, and you just the thought of them, like, what they'll do if you do this happens, like, that's him in the wrestling mat. Like, well, if I grab his leg, he might do this, even though grabbing the leg's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're going to get yourself fucked up doing the right thing. Yeah. That's even like we were saying earlier with Gregor. Like, when he first started training, it was almost like if he tried to do stuff, I can beat him. I can catch him. If he didn't try to do anything and just wrestle fuck me and hold me down, I couldn't do anything.
Right.
He could literally backpack me and I couldn't do shit.
Right.
He could literally put his head in my stomach, and if I wasn't punching, I couldn't do anything. He could literally control my biceps and hold me down.
Ben and Gregor are both in the same, like, conversation when it comes to, Division I college wrestling, taking a guy down and then just tilting them and just getting back points. They just
Tilting,
they
like
would
back-
do it all day.
Like, I know I've heard a lot of people say about Gregor, and I've seen on wrestling forums that Gregor's considered one of, like, the top wrestlers, like really good wrestler overall. But like as far as on top, if Gregor gets on top of you, you're fucked.
Yeah, well, there's a handful of guys that, like I said, when they grabbed your wrist, it became that was their arm. They now owned your arm. Gregor was one of those guys. He grabbed your wrist and pulled it across to the other hip, and he was very good at doing it very quickly, where you couldn't like be like, oh, crap. Like once he got your left wrist to your far right hip, that was it. He would just tilt you, come back over, tilt you again. I watched him as a freshman because me and Gregor are the same age. So as a freshman, I was watching Gregor win these tournaments where I was like, wow, like who is this guy? Even though I kind of know who he was because we were both from New York.
Mm-hmm.
But just freak.
And what's crazy about Gregor is, I've had many stories about Gregor. He used to be having, obviously, alcohol problems in college. He used to be all fucked up, and he would still, I can wrestle.
He won a national tournament on drugs.
Yeah. Like one of his friends I always talked to, the kid Ryan Lang?
Yeah.
I talked to Ryan Lang.
Yeah.
Ryan Lang would tell me, like him too, another kid who was wound up in drugs and alcohol. So he, like, took second in the national tournament and was, like, a two-time All-American.
Right.
And considered an underachiever, and it was like, dude, why'd you underachieve? He's like, I don't even remember college. I was fucking high,
Which, like, breaks my heart kind of because I tried so hard and I tried doing all the right things. Like, I wouldn't drink. I didn't smoke weed. Like, I went to class. I would do, like, I tried my hardest on all the sprints. Like, I try to win every go. I do extra pull-ups, push-ups, you know what I mean? And then, like, Gregor would, like, open his eyes and, like, what?
Like, I remember Lang told me one time, he was like, watch the match. And I watched him versus Darian Caldwell, who's now a badass.
Yeah.
And you see him just getting fucked up. And he's, like, getting out-wrestled, and he's just basing out, trying not to get turned. I think he gets turned at one point. He's down, like, 8-3 or something. They have a break in the match. He's like, basically, I was all fucked up. I kind of didn't even know where I was. I came to when I fixed my headgear. And then he's like, you see him fix his headgear and then squint over, and then he just fucking lat drops him, fucking pins him, and then gets up like, I won. I'm on to the fucking next round. You know what I mean? It was literally like he clicked in and was like, oh, no, I got to do the move now. I
gotta pull my head out my ass, not stop being drunk.
Like, I remember watching some of Gregor's matches. Gregor was probably like, I got to do the move now. I got to shoot this double and get this kid down.
Well, Gregor, I think, was always, like, very neurotic.
Yeah, OCD.
Know? Yeah.
Very, very goal. Yeah. Like, he's able to set himself on something.
Yeah, I think he was more. I don't know. Like, I forget what his drug of choice was, but like, I think he was like more like on a high, not like not knowing where he was and stuff. I think he was just like I think he was so hot, he was overly focused.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Very, once he got focused on something, I feel like he was just, that was it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And wrestling was just, like, easy peasy for him. Like, that's what Lang said. Lang was like, I do it since I was 5 years old. So it's like in my back pocket, you know, at all times. All right, so, I mean, we could wrap up. What do you want to try to call Phil? It seems like, I don't know if sometimes do emails text messages not go through in this building?
It's been pretty good so far.
It seems like my messages aren't going
give
through.
him a call. If not,
I'll give him a call and see what's going on. Like
You have reached the voicemail box.
Oh, his phone might be off.
There you go.
why don't we leave him a voicemail? Can you leave him a voicemail on the...
What am I going to say? Phil,
That's how we should sign off. Like, hey, Phil, you reached the... what's the name of our show?
I don't know. Well, we call it the Tap Nap Snap Show. I figured we call it... That'll be who's producing it. We'll put it out there, and then we'll call it Menace and the Man.
All right.
Oh, you don't like that?
No.
Yeah, Menace and the Man. That's what we'll go with.
Menace and the Man. All right. I mean, it's pretty organic. It's the first thing that came to our head, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it rolled off the tongue.
Yeah.
So it works out. So we'll call Phil.
Like, hey, you this is, you know, I'll be like, this is the Menace. You'd be like, this is the Man, and you just missed our show.
Yeah, and then even at the beginning, you just said, like,
We'll get you next time.
You said, like, you gave yourself a nickname. Everyone calls me Stan the Man. My nickname is Stan the Man. Like, that's what they call me. Ringing everyone that says, like, oh, what's your last name? And I go, oh, it's long. Just call me Stanley. 99% of the time, they go, all right, Stan the Man. All right, I'm going to call you Stan the Man.
Well, yeah, because everybody's a loser.
It rhymes.
No, hang
on.
When I meet people, I don't tell them, hey, I'm Dennis. I tell them I'm Dennis the Menace.
Do you want me to make
because they'll never
with
forget
this show
it.
how to get people to properly pronounce my name? That's, you know, it's a difficult one to pronounce.
Oh, God. Hang on. I never say your last name.
Yeah, you probably don't even know it.
Scarzanelli or something like that?
Exactly. You don't even know it. It's Zarnecki.
Zarnecki.
Zarnecki. But if you just read it on paper, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Is that Polish, Jewish?
Polish. I am 50% Italian, 25% Irish, 25% Polish.
Because when I look at it, it just looks
German, Polish.
It
looks all over the place. Yeah, people never know what the fuck I am.
If you told me you were like with ISIS, I'm like, all right, I can say.
No, come on, no terrorism over here.
Well, no, just looking at your name.
Just looking at my name. All right, well, we tried. we had a bunch of guests lined up. Scheduling's always tough. Thursday night, we're gonna have to see about our time slot, but we'll figure it out in the future.
Thursday.
Yeah, we were going to have LaFleur, Wade, Gregor, Frank Mir, a bunch of people, and everyone's teaching classes. So next week we're going to try to get Tito Ortiz, a bunch of other guys. I don't even know the lineup yet, but we'll definitely get people on, and we'll let them, I don't even know. Like, people were saying, oh, you got to promote the show. I don't even give a shit about promotion. You just got to do the content and then upload it.
Any chance we can get your mom to call in?
My mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, why? What do you want to talk to her about?
I don't know. You just said she's crazy. I would love to pick her brain.
Oh, no, she's a good lady. I'm saying crazy. Like, my mom's, I don't even know. Neurotic. My mom's like into celebrities. Yeah. She reads E-Weekly and Star.
Yeah, we should sell her that I'm like
the way
really famous.
The way you say something and you do whatever, my mom will relate it to a celebrity. She'll be like, oh, yeah, Kim Kardashian eats those chips. You know, my mom's like one of those ladies. So
wow.
She's into celebrities and she watches Housewives and all that. She's like a real housewife of Long Island. That's what she thinks she is. She's an interesting lady.
Yeah, we should definitely get her to call in.
One day we got to get
no-brainer.
Yeah, but we'll stick with the fighters and stuff, and eventually next week maybe we'll get some video, we'll get some callers coming in, so we'll try to take some fan calls and whatnot. We'll see about getting our live stream and everything set up.
Oy.
Yeah, we'll send people to Menace Tube. We'll get Menace Tube up and running.
Yeah, that's a real thing. If you didn't know.
Yeah, maybe Joe. Joe might be your guy. Joe might be your guy. There's people everywhere, bro. People that can edit video and help with all types of recordings and everything.
For sure.
Well, me and Menace are in the mix. Let's call Phil and then let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, there's Long Island in them. Let's get the fuck out of here.
You have reached the voicemail box of 70269.
Yo, Phil, you missed the Menace.
And Stan the Man, what's going on? We were trying to get you on the show. Hopefully we'll get you next week.
I miss you.
Miss you too.
XOXO. I hope that creeps him out a little bit.
No.
Oh, your number's gonna come up, right?
Yeah. No, it'll creep him out. But he's fucking crazy, so. We still got time, too, for his fight. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. If you guys listened, and,
yeah, like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Let people know how they can find you. Not that they're going to listen to the show and get this deep in, but...
Dude, Fuck off.
Let them know where they might be able to find you.
Well, you can find me on Tinder. Just kidding.
No.
You can find me on Twitch at Menace Bermudez. You could also find me on Instagram at Menace Bermudez. You could also find me on Twitter at Menace Bermudez. You see what I did there? I used all
Menace
the
Bermudez
same.
for everything?
Yeah, except for it'd be stupid if I had at Menace Bermudez for my fan page on Facebook. What do you mean?
You can just go Ultimate Warrior and start calling yourself Menace.
Well, it's
Taken?
Dennis the Menace Bermudez on Facebook.
Yeah, people will find you.
Yeah.
People will find you. And we'll keep people updated. We'll let people get on your social medias and our YouTube fan page. And everybody go check out Tap Nap Snap.
Oh, and the YouTube page is called Menace Tube.
Menace Tube. Everyone knows Menace Tube.
Do you get it? Do you see what I did there? Because it's on YouTube, but I'm the Menace. So Menace Tube.
Yeah. That was like a light bulb over your head. Just sparks, right?
Yeah, it just felt right. Just like the Menace and the Man Show.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to put this on Menace Tube. We're going to put this on Tap Nap Snap. Hope you guys enjoy. But even next week, like I said, even for today, that I had all these guests kind of reschedule on me, I'm all for pranking people. So maybe next week we're just going to prank people.
Any chance we could prank your mom?
We could prank my mom. Not right now. Next
All right.
week. My mom works. My mom's in, where the fuck is
Dude,
my mom?
don't give away her.
No, my mom's in, like, North Carolina or something right now, or Milwaukee or some shit.
I like how you looked at our guy like he knows. Like
It helped me think. It helped me think looking over at Joe. Joe is a soothing sight. So again, Stan the Man, the Menace and the Man Show, Tap Nap Snap. Check us out. Next time, we'll see you guys soon.
Well, goodbye.
Take it easy.